On the first day of kindergarten, my heart raced. I was just 5, about to be thrown into a world I knew nothing about, and I was terrified. But I found I was immediately welcomed to my class with opened arms, and school soon established itself as a place filled with endless opportunity and new life. I came to know of the rare beauty found only in a school, a place where one's potential isn't measured by their previous knowledge or background, but by their desire to learn. I found my fear was replaced by love and comfort. In the 5th grade, my teacher sat us down to talk about guns. It was December 2012. The shooting at Sandy Hook had just happened. 2 injured, 28 dead. Our teachers did the best they could to explain to us what had happened, for how do you tell a child of only 10 of such tragedy? It was the first time I had ever heard the word shooting and school in the same sentence, and again I felt fear. No, not fear of the first day of school, but of mortality and death surrounding me as I played in the schoolyard. My sense of comfort was shattered. 7 years later, that fear has been replaced with a numb sense of awareness. Gone is the shock. Since the shooting at Sandy Hook, there have been at least 239 school shootings, according to the New York Times, along with the Gun Violence Archive. In 2017, the CDC recorded a record number high for gun deaths in the U.S. at 39,773 people killed by guns. The U.S. has a gun problem, and that problem has permeated into our schools. It feels as if we are trapped in an endless cycle of school shootings happening so often we become desensitized to the tragedy that surrounds us. It feels as if there's nothing we can do, but there is. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to feel. Feel the shock, feel the sadness, feel the outrage. I know it is hard. Such constant grief is taxing, but we cannot lose hope. We cannot forget what it is to be human. We must work to uphold the ideals of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And while Capitol Hill may feel far away, we here as a community can work to eliminate gun violence. Prevention starts within our schools. Many a time a perpetrator of shootings is a recently former or current student. Funding for school counseling is insufficient. The American School Counselor Association recommends 1 counselor for every 250 students. California's ratio stands at 1 for every 760. Outreach does work. Schools in Los Angeles have seen high success from county mental health professionals, school staff, and law enforcement working together to identify students who pose potential threats to their school environment. Rather than coming from a place of aggression or demonization of these at-risk students, this outreach works to provide them with the proper counseling and social services they and their families deserve. We must as well work to teach our children proper emotional and social skills. Communication and conflict resolution can be used as vital tools for students not only to create connections with others, but instill in them empathy for others different to them. We as a community can also work to provide safe spaces for youth, such as teen centers, to provide them with a compassionate and nurturing environment to help them grow. And we can advocate. I'm proud to say I was a part of our community's recent March for Our Lives walkout, along with countless other students. And all around the country, protests run by students just like us, like Emma Gonzalez and David Hoggs, declare enough is enough. We are fortunate to live in a community where groups like the AAUW advocate alongside with us. We can turn our anger into action. We can walk. We can write to our congressmen and women. We can use social media to advocate for our cause. And we can vote. A recent survey conducted by the Harvard Institute of Politics found that the issue most likely to drive young voters to the polls was that of school shootings. This movement in our country for better gun control is not a simple fad. Our recent election day saw a newly registered voter count explode, 50,000 alone registered by the March for Our Lives activists. Our recent election day also saw the turnout for voters increase by 10%. My friends, just like any other member in the community, we students too want our voices heard. We want to see ourselves reflected in the decisions made by our elected officials, and the young people, the future, have spoken. We want to live, knowing our lives won't be cut short by an act of senseless violence, knowing what beauty it is to truly live and learn again in peace.